Hi! A little while ago I came across my most favourite video game box art ever, and then one of my delightful viewers actually sent me the game. Now I can admire it in person. Look at it. Just look at Crabby, he's having such a nice time. Yes, viewers, is this the best cover art for any video game ever? Spoiler alert, the answer is yes. No other piece of carefully crafted graphical design has made me laugh so long and so hard as this. But first, let's just have a quick look at some other video game box arts that have genuinely had me crying laughing, just so you can get some context on my deeply unattractive sense of humour. Look at this rarely mentioned in television version of Donkey Kong. It has everything. Muscly Mario with a hammer, voluptuous blonde beauty, and an absolute horror demon in place of the titular gorilla. Why doesn't anyone talk about this actual Nintendo licensed cover art? Can you imagine Nintendo letting this slide these days? What if Nintendo just went with that depiction of Donkey Kong for all the future games? What a span of generational trauma we would all have. And why doesn't he have any nipples? Did he bite them off in a rage? I'm really scared by him, I really am. Speaking of gorillas, look at Killer Kong here. Still no nipples, but certainly an excellently captured facial expression there. He looks like he's just showed me a meme and now he's waiting for me to laugh. Or he's just fed me a poisoned cupcake. You tricky bastard. Then you've got Phalanx, which I know pops up a lot when people talk about bad cover arts, but I think it's genius. The marketers clearly had no clue what to do for a shoot 'em up on a market that was full of them, so they just dragged in someone's granddad, gave him a banjo, and slapped his picture on the cover art. Probably. I don't know if that's what actually happened. It certainly pops out from the shelf though, doesn't it? He looks so confused to be there, it cracks me up every time. My second most favourite box art, you probably already know. This cat with a phone. God, that is wonderful in every way. It doesn't even matter that it's not even technically a game. It's for making mobile ringtones. I don't care. I want this etched on my tombstone, right next to the words, "They died as they lived, miserably." So Crabby Adventure for the PlayStation 2 was released by Phoenix Games. They were the absolute powerhouse of crappy PlayStation games. They were formerly Midas Entertainment, which is when they got hold of some terrible films by Dingo Pictures and made them into, inverted commas, games. I have done videos on them, most recently Animal Soccer World, I'll link that in the description. But what I mean to say is Phoenix was a publisher that had zero shits to give. They apparently took any old crap and just chucked it on a PlayStation disc and had a very nice time, thank you. Which makes Crabby Adventure very unusual actually, but I'll get to that in a minute. I just need to gush about the box art, please. Also, I don't usually get video games sent to me. Usually my PO box is full of presents for Louie's pets. You know Louie, this guy right here. So I want viewers to know how special it is to get this. I am so invested in what Crabby here is up to. Is he running away from a ship that he just sunk? Is the ship about to burst into flames? Underwater flames? He's so cool. And he looks like a crab with a purpose. I am so invested in this horrifying sea insect. I want to tag along in his adventures like an overbearing but ultimately kind-hearted sidekick. Crabby is a crab species called Cancer pagurus, I think. I'm only going from internet research here. Any crab experts in the comments will be sure to correct me, and please do so. Oh god, the Wikipedia page for this particular species of crabs has close-ups on their faces. He's an edible type crab, and I did literally do the research to tell whether he's a male or female of the species, which is a waste of my life considering crabs don't give a shit about pronouns. Let's just go with he. I can't look at any more photos of crabs, it's giving me the creeps. Now the more you look at the box art, the more you see. Crabby here at first glance seems like the main subject, but how about the other crabs here? Look, here's one sneakily sitting next to an open chest of treasure. I'm so sure that seahorse is about to be murdered by said crab, probably so the latter can keep all of that lovely treasure for himself, for things that crabs need to pay for. Look at this second seahorse here, perhaps trying to warn its friend about the incoming danger. This is so tense. No wonder the seahorse got the box open so easily. Didn't even need to open the lock apparently, just flipped it right on open. The pirates that sunk in this ship probably deserve to do so if they can't even manage the basic concept of using a padlock. But the real drama is happening front and centre, out of sight until you pay proper attention. In that cloud of dust that Crabby is kicking up is hidden another crab, an especially angry looking one. I'm sure it is all just kicked off between this crab and this crab. And look, this crab is running for the discarded sword embedded in the sand. You've seen that viral video of the crab holding the knife? It's all about to happen in real time. Meanwhile, a third crab sits in the shadows cheering on what is clearly about to be the fight of the century. This lad has his right claw poised like he's about to slam betting chips down on the table. He's invested. Never mind what Crabby's up to, I need to know what's happening with these three lads. Which one of them ended up being fish sticks? Tell me! What were they fighting over that was so serious a friggin' cutlass had to get involved? Is this a disagreement over a cheating spouse? Or is it simply like a boozy incident round the front of a chicken cottage? Also, why is that random cannon set up primed to go? Is the betting crab about to cannonball whichever fighter he didn't bet on? Someone commission this for Netflix already, please. They're running out of ideas. I am exhausted after analysing the cover art. I don't know if I have the energy to actually play the game. This would be a great time to add an energy drink sponsorship, but companies don't want to talk to me because I'm not very good at answering emails. No. That's what I thought. Crabby Adventure has already brought me so much joy, I actually don't care if the game is rubbish, but let's have a look at it. There's no chance it can live up to the cover art, but I've got time to kill and nothing better to do with my increasingly short time on this earth, so let's go. This game was made by Cyberplanet Interactive, a company specialising in casual games that you're more likely to find on browser-based gaming sites or on your tablet. I couldn't find definitively if all of their games started out there and were then ported to game consoles after, but knowing Phoenix, Crabby Adventure was likely already made and then the company bought the rights to make it into a PlayStation game. This PlayStation 2 version came out in 2007 by the way, and it wasn't released on the PlayStation 1. Right off you can see the cover art Phoenix commissioned was made by someone who absolutely had not seen the game. This is not an unusual move by them, honestly. There is nothing here that is reminiscent of what we were promised from the box. Disappointing, yeah, but okay. Ooh, a storyline, okay. There's some cute colourful crabs who have lived under the sand for generations, but then there's an earthquake. They look above on the sand and there's some idiot kid playing with marbles on the beach. Which, who does that? You're asking for them to get lost. In a terrifying scene, the marbles roll towards an entrance to the crab's home. But it's okay, Crabby is here! It always pisses me off when animals and kids' cartoons are literally just named after the thing that they are. It's like if we had main characters called Humany or Manny, gender dysphoria-y. Yes, it's a marble shooter game, like Zuma, but with crabs. Who's this crab? It's not this crab. It's not this crab. Could they just not decide on how Crabby would look and chucked all three versions in? This Crabby looks evil. I'm scared of crabs as it is, but this one has the cold dead eyes of a killer. Oh, I do not like those little scuttly noises I keep hearing. You stop that. Those marble taps are satisfying to hear, even though they are noticeably out of sync. The music is the same all the way through. It's not intrusive enough to be mega annoying and you can zone it out, plus it helps that there's ambient wave noises. With the level designs being so sunny and cheerful, it's not even a bad gameplay experience, it's just totally mindless. But that's what you get with a game specifically designed for killing time. By the way, the actual game shouldn't look as low resolution as it does in this video. It's supposed to be a little bit sharper. So that's how I learned my capture card is shagged. I think you get the vibe though. And in any case, this is pretty much how it looked on the CRT screen that I tested the PlayStation on. So you're getting the authentic early 2000s can't afford an LCD TV experience here. Play it for a little while and and you'll really notice how this is meant to be a browser-based or PC game. You can't control Crabby outright, he points in the direction of where the cursor is. But I'm on a PlayStation 2 here, and I'm using a PlayStation 2 controller, so I'm just here pissing about with joysticks trying to get a cursor in the right place, and I'm not having a nice time. I've never personally got on with any cursor-based games that I need to use a controller for, but this is especially awkward. It's sluggish and annoying. Fundamentally, this is a perfectly functional puzzle game, but the damn cursor is taking the piss, honestly. It makes it just a little bit rubbish. I mean, it's already overall a little bit rubbish, but it's a kind of you get what you pay for situation. Oh, hang on, plot progression. The idiot kid has gone and bought more marbles, probably because he keeps getting them lost because he's playing with them on a friggin' beach. What an idiot. And the crabs do not want to play with him. Oh, this is scenes. Yeah, look, there's no story really. It doesn't get you invested. There's no reason for you to give a crap about these crabs. All in all, it's not a bad game. It's functional, it's cute, the music leaves a lot to be desired, but this is a budget game. I don't know, it's just not got enough to be a good game for a console. It's a time waster. It would be great for your tablet or phone while you're on your commute. You know, it'd be one of those games that has adverts in it that you have to frantically click on to make it go away. Please go away. But for me, it's not visually pleasing enough or has fun enough music or sound effects to be something worth sitting down in front of the TV for. And I say that as someone who has put lots of time into casual games like this before. Zuma is one example, I played that on Xbox. Also, Peggle, which I frigging love. But both of those games cater to neurodivergent brains like mine with really satisfying sounds and visuals and positive affirmations. Things that make you go, oh, that was so satisfying. Crabby Adventure doesn't do any of that. It's lacking, and it doesn't belong on a PlayStation 2. I used to think this style of marble puzzle started life in the game Zuma from 2003. It actually first appeared in arcades in 1998 under the name Puzzloop. It was made by a Japanese development team called Mixel Co, and as you can see, Zuma obviously ripped it off. Unsurprisingly, Mitchell Corporation accused Oberon Media and the game publisher PopCap of plagiarism. The problem for Mitchell was, you can't really copyright the gameplay mechanics and the rules of a game. Zuma does objectively look very different, so I guess they were let off the hook legally? By the way, Mitchell also made the Pang series, as they were known in Japan. In Europe, we got that game under the name Buster Brothers. It's a bubble popping game, and I don't know if it went any way to inspiring Puzzloop. I suppose it could have done. I just mention it as it is a more recognisable title, and also, look at this advert for it. They're hunting balls and bagging profits. Oh, they knew. They absolutely knew. Filthy bastards. Now, I'll be honest, I don't have many rare games. I don't have many expensive games. I don't bother collecting expensive things because I like to be able to pay the rent and the bills. And while it's nice to have games, I personally don't get much joy from seeing them all lined up on a shelf. I've only got a couple of rare or expensive games, and I am not selling them because they were the ones from my actual childhood, or they were sent by viewers to replace ones that I lost from my childhood. I've also got just general games sent by viewers that I don't want to get rid of because, well, my viewers sent them. And I like the validation, you know? But when it comes to just some game I've got no emotional connection to that I don't play anymore and it just takes up space now, oh, I will sell that shit in a heartbeat if someone wants it. Here, you want Animal Soccer World? Frigging take it. I have got PTSD from it. It might even be healing. What is this? Why do I have this? Well, it turns out Crabby Adventure is a rare game. Like, probably really quite rare. To the point that, according to pricecharting.com, it actively goes for upwards of 60 quid. In my books, that's rare. 60 quid is a lot of money. It's a lot of money to be spending on any kind of bullshit that Phoenix Games put out. At the time of writing, there's a few examples of the game listed for about that price, 60 quid, so I think there might be a bit of sellers inflating the value a bit. On price charting, the lowest it went for was $10, and that was only a year and a half before this video was made. The highest it went for was $145, which is mad. But you know what? You like collecting crap? You go for it. Spend money on the things that make you happy. I also noticed at the time of writing that CEX in the UK is trying to flog this game for about 60 quid as well. But it's CEX. Yeah, okay, I think I've just ruined any chance of getting sponsored by them. Now, I don't believe that the viewer who sent me this shelled out that much for it. I don't think I'd be able to deal with the guilt of somebody paying out 60 quid just so I could see the box art that made me cry laughing in person. But I am incredibly grateful. Oh god, look at it. I didn't see any reviews by big YouTubers about this game, which is usually what causes a flurry of high-priced tatty games to pop up on eBay, so why Crabby Adventure is capable of selling for high prices is beyond me. It's a Phoenix game and it's thus fundamentally worthless. I know I keep saying it, but that's how it is when it's a Phoenix game. But it looks like this PlayStation 2 version did get quite a limited release. Possibly it was European only. It also, being a Phoenix game, likely had a limited release being a budget title. This company knew that they were putting out tat, they were very self-aware, and they put out a lot of tat. They weren't going to waste money by over-ordering manufacturing for each title. There is a PC disc version of Crabby Adventure which I only found on eBay, and that barely goes for a couple of dollars. So it's obviously all about the PlayStation 2 version. That cover art might well be what pushed interest in this particular title among collectors, thus the price. I would have hurled my pocket money at that if I'd seen that on the shelves of the kid. At the end of it all, I'm mostly just disappointed that I didn't get anything like what the box art promised. What was I hoping for? Okay, basically Grand Theft Auto with crabs. I don't know what that says about me. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe and all of that nonsense. It really helps me out. By that I mean, it helps me stay alive. In many ways.